Let's start with a truth that might make your hot dog more interesting. The condiment you use almost without thinking, the one that's always sitting next to the ketchup, has over 5,000 years of history. But here's the most surprising part. The mustard you know today is just the final stop on a journey that began with Greek philosophers, medieval popes, and monks who used the seed as medicine. And the name? Mustard comes from the Latin mustum ardens, burning must, wine on fire. Yes, the name of this familiar condiment has an origin worthy of an epic. Come along as we uncover the complete history of mustard. The history of mustard begins long before writing. Mustard seeds have been found in Stone Age settlements, but systematic cultivation began over 3,000 years ago in China, India, and Egypt. Excavations in the Indus Valley revealed that mustard was already being cultivated in that civilization until approximately 1850 BC. In China, the seeds were used both in cooking and in traditional medicine. In ancient Egypt, ground grains already seasoned recipes, and it's said that the Egyptians placed mustard seeds in the food of King Tut's tomb as a snack for his passage to the afterlife. In ancient Greece, Pythagoras considered mustard a memory stimulant, and Hippocrates used it for medicinal purposes. But it was the Romans who transformed mustard into something close to what we know. They mixed unfermented grape juice, must, with ground mustard seeds, creating mustum ardens, burning must, which gave rise to the name. With the fall of the Roman Empire, mustard knowledge was preserved in monasteries. Around the 10th century, monks from the Abbey of Saint-Germain-des-Prés absorbed Roman knowledge and began their own production. By the 9th century, French monasteries were already earning considerable income from mustard sales. The great mustard center became Dijon, in Burgundy. The city was so important that specific mills, like those for wheat, served merchants and the population. The oldest record dates from 1347, an expense of 12 francs for sending mustard to the queen of the time. And mustard's influence reached the top of the Catholic hierarchy. In the 11th century, Pope John XXI of Avignon liked the condiment so much that he created the position of Grand Moutardier du Pape, Grand Mustard Maker of the Pope, giving the job to an idle nephew who lived near Dijon. In 1777, the modern history of mustard began when Maurice Gray and Antoine Poupon founded a company using Gray's recipe and Poupon's money. Their original store is still in the center of Dijon. But the real innovation came in 1856, when Jean Nagin replaced vinegar with verjuice, juice of unripe grapes, creating the milder, less acidic Dijon mustard we know today. The recipe quickly became a world reference. Dijon mustard accounts for 90% of French production. While France dominated the European market, England also developed its tradition. In 1814, Jeremiah Colman began commercializing his mustard. He perfected the technique of grinding seeds into a fine powder without creating heat, which evaporates the oil and preserves the pungent flavor. Colman's is one of the oldest food brands still in use. On the other side of the Atlantic, American mustard gained its own identity. In 1904, Francis French launched French's cream salad mustard at the St. Louis World's Fair, of vibrant, creamy yellow mustard, less spicy than European ones, perfect for the hot dog, which was also introduced at the same fair. There are about 40 species of mustard plants. The varieties are basically classified into 3 types of grains, which determine the style of the condiment. Yellow mustard is produced mainly with white mustard seeds, and its vibrant color comes from the addition of turmeric. Fascinating facts about mustard. Mustard is mentioned in the New Testament. If you have faith as a grain of mustard. In ancient Greece, it was used as a memory tonic by Pythagoras. Plautus, the Roman playwright, called it horrible poison. When Vasco da Gama set sail for India, he carried a barrel of mustard on board. Nepal is one of the world's largest seed producers. The global mustard market was valued at $10 billion in 2025. So, the next time you spread mustard on your hot dog, remember, you're not just using a condiment. You're tasting over 5,000 years of history that began in the kitchens of Egyptian pharaohs, passed through the philosophical discussions of Pythagoras, was refined by French monks, blessed by popes, perfected by the English, and taken to the world by Americans. Mustard traveled from ancient empires to world fairs, from medicines to condiments, from monasteries to baseball stadiums, to get to your plate. Now I want to know from you, what's your favorite mustard? Classic yellow, stronger Dijon, spicy English, or honey mustard? And most importantly, did you know the name means burning must? Tell us in the comments. If you enjoyed this spicy story, hit that like button to help the channel grow. And if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe now and ring the bell because every week a new story is coming out of the kitchen. See you on the next plate.